right? So we have a database of over 1,500 innovative startups, and for 1 year we screened them, we asked them to pitch, we visited them, we talked to them, and we've selected 25 of those startups to present here to you at the Real Estate Innovation Forum. And now you're going to see 5 in the category of invest and finance and research and evaluate. And here are the 5 that have been pre-selected.
Exactly, Christian, just one thing, don't get confused, there's 2 categories. Basically, the startups could apply in those 2 categories, and then we merged them together because the category research and value was pretty small, invest and finance was also pretty small, and then we merged them together. That's why there's 2 categories. So no confusion, at the end it's 1 category, and happy to have you, to have you on stage again.
Good, great, great. So we're going to prepare here, we're going to have a little bit of jury, which are going to ask some challenging questions. And also I would like to ask for your participation in asking and challenging the startups, so asking some challenging questions, and also voting for the top startups, because we will have a winner at the end of this hour. So the 5 startups are going to present, and the jury together with you are going to vote for the winner. And obviously it's very important for a startup to win an award like this, right? The Real Estate Innovation Forum Award. It's very nice for the team, it's good for the investors, it's good for the customers and the story, right? So usually, the startups are very, the presentations are very intense, because, and please take it serious in voting for them, and do select the best startup, because it will really help them in their journey. My name is Christian Ehl. I'm a startup entrepreneur. I have done 7 startups up to date. The last startup is called Share Your Space, which is an Airbnb for office space, which we founded last year, and we just got an investment from Commerz Real and just announced that yesterday, so we're really happy to be here. And it's an honor for me to present the startup battlefield, because I know how hard it is to set up a startup, right, and how difficult it is, and how, all the challenges you have, and the idea is usually the easiest thing, but then you have to build a team, you have to build a product, you have to build a value proposition, you have to find a first customer, right, and then you have to scale, you have to find money, and it's so challenging to do a startup. So I have a lot of respect, and it's really great to have 5 innovative startup and entrepreneurs here who are going to pitch their business and their idea to you, and you get to challenge them and vote for them. Okay, may I ask the jury to come on stage, please? So jury members which are here, it would be nice if you have a seat, and the startups should get ready. The first startup is going to be Block Square. So, yes, here comes the jury. Hello, welcome. Thank you guys, all coordinated together, coming from behind, from the off to you. Thank you very much, welcome. You also brought a microphone here. I think as a first step, before you move into a little bit of the rules, maybe you do a quick round of introduction. Maybe give us your name and what you do in your everyday business. We're starting here at the end.
Sure. My name is Henning Zander, and I'm responsible for the startup activities in Area Bank Group. And happy to be in the jury today.
Welcome, Henning.
My name is Can Tomakian. I'm working at Deutsche Pfandbriefbank in the digitalization team.
Okay.
I'm Gregory Pittel from Patrizia, and one of my main focus topics is accompanying the startups with the cooperation within Patrizia.
Thanks, Gregory.
My name is Beat Schwab from Switzerland. I'm an independent board member and a business angel in the PropTech startup area.
So you have a lot of pitches, a lot of experience in startup pitches?
Once in a while, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, please be very critical. You're the experts. You see a lot of startups, and it challenge them, right? To see, do they have the right model? Do they have the right market? Have you seen competition that does the same thing? So do challenge them, because we want to see how they respond. It's part of our test here, so we can actually find the winner. The way this is going to work is the startup's going to come on stage. They have 3 minutes of time to pitch their business. It's a very short period of time, but I think it's full of action, it's full of drama, right, to have a pitch in 3 minutes. Then we have 5 minutes for a Q&A session from the jury, from you guys. And after those 5 minutes, you get to vote. I'll show you how the voting works in a minute, and the jury votes. And at the end of the session, we're going to have one famous winner. Maybe we could show here on the stage how the voting works. We have a little website prepared for you, so you can prepare that on your startup. And in the meantime, as we're seeing if we can get this up, let me ask the first startup to come here, which is going to be Blockspace from Slovenia. So if Blockspace please comes up. Blockspace from Slovenia. I think they're still from behind. Block Square, yes. Thank you very much. Okay. Hello, welcome. Yes. Hello, I'm Christian. What's your name? Venice, very nice. Come here. You have we prepared everything for you. Should have a microphone and a clicker here. Let's see. There's a clicker, and I think I would like to take one of your microphones, please, if I may. I think you have a lot. If you would share the other ones. So maybe test the microphone, Venice.
Do we hear each other? Yes? Raise your hands.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Good, good. So, so you are from Slovenia. You just arrived here. You just came here for this presentation, or do you have some other business here?
We arrived on Sunday.
For the Oktoberfest evening.
Yeah, but we missed it because there was traffic on the road.
Oh, okay. That's, I mean, there's a lot happening here at Oktoberfest. You have to plan early and come early next time.
Next year.
Okay, good. So, are you ready? Is everything working for you? Presentation, etc. Can you?
Hopefully.
But you'll have 3 minutes of time. I'm going to be very tight on timing, right? And I think you have a great audience, although it's late. But, you know, people are actually looking not at their handies, but at you. So I'll ask the audience. Audience, are you ready? Thumbs up. Are you ready for the first startup? Are you ready, Venice?
Of course.
3, 2, 1, go.
Real estate is the biggest asset class in the world. Besides being capital intensive, it's also one of the most illiquid investments you can make. And tokenization is here to change this, taking us from a world where a property is transacted once a decade to a new reality where that same asset is transacted 100 times within the minute. My name is Dennis and I'm the CEO of Blocksquare. And here today to present you how Blocksquare enables companies worldwide to transform any real estate property into 100,000 digital shares by providing a compliant, turnkey solution. But where does tokenization make sense today? Prime real estate markets like San Francisco have no liquidity problems. These markets have enough buyers for properties of any size. But where I come from, and hundreds of similar markets around the world, properties of bigger size have only few potential buyers. What's more, the established solutions that already address these markets, like REITs, crowdfunding, and syndication, won't be able to technically match the ever-increasing requirements of their investor networks. So we used blockchain to create a solution where investors can customize their diversification without being locked up for 7 to 10 years in their investments. At Blocksquare, we serve clients with existing real estate portfolios that we reach out to in partnership with trusted consulting companies. Now, if we speculate that in 10 years' time, 1% of the 2.8 trillion of professionally managed real estate properties will be tokenized, Blocksquare is addressing a market worth 28 billion. Last year, we conducted a public pilot where tokenization enabled the sale of a property that had been sitting on the market for almost 6 months to conclude in just 16 days. And earlier this year, we were awarded as the most innovative blockchain-based solution for real estate in Crypto Valley, Zug, Switzerland. These important milestones enabled us to have generated more than 100 inquiries from companies worldwide and to have worked on 30 case studies with them. We're proud today to have our first commercial client. Investis is using traditional means of real estate financing to enter real estate investment deals and leveraging our tokenization solutions to refinance them for substantial profits. We're different from competitors because we sell access to our system through our tokenized license, and because my co-founders, Victor and Peter, bring their teams of developers and legal professionals to our project. We measure our growth through 3 key metrics, and to considerably grow these numbers, we are open for new collaborations, partnerships, and investments. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Big round of applause. So nice pitch in 3 minutes, very well articulated, very good, quite impressive. So people can vote now. Actually, this is how the voting works, just so you know. You go to the website with your mobile phone, slido.com. You put in the hashtag BUILTWORLD, and you can ask questions directly, and you can vote for the startup on your mobile phone. the jury will also vote, and later on we cast all the votes together and we define who is the winner. But let's have some questions and some challenges for Dennis first. So, I mean, tokenization is going through different industries. I've seen it a lot in the startup space, right? So for getting funding for startups, it used to be quite hip, then it got more quiet. Why do you think it's different in the real estate space? Why do you think it's going to work to offer tokens and more liquidity this way in the real estate industry?
I think the real estate industry has a few things that other, let's say, asset classes or investment types don't have, and which is a physical asset that is clearly defined, and we can find it in land registries and we can appraise the value of it. And the understanding of real estate as a business model is quite easier than anything else. Mm-hmm. So I think investing in real estate is something that's been going on for hundreds of years, and the democratization of the process is something that is happening already for a few decades now, basically since REITs are around. Now we have a new technology that is going to just update a certain way of investing in the next 10 to 20 years.
Okay. Well, people like your solution, obviously, so here you see the real-time live voting happening in the background. Jury, maybe you give them some challenge.
Can you say something about the legal framework? What do the investors actually buy when they buy a token?
Okay.
Legal framework.
Sure. So, legally speaking, the investor buys through a debt instrument. Basically, what we tokenize is a debt investment. So you have a stake in what the SPV that holds the title to the property owns to the investors. And you verify that through that token. Because if we tokenize equity itself, we have a lot of things that limit the ability of secondary market trading. And we have notaries that make that process even harder. In this way, the investment itself can be truly online.
A question from my side, how do you earn money? What is your business model?
So what we offer, we don't tokenize real estate per se ourselves. But what we offer is the framework and the system basically with ancillary applications on a white label basis. So we earn through selling a license. And we enable companies that already are present in real estate to update their business models or to start something new within their current business.
Let's take a question here from the crowd. Obviously, you have a lot of experts here, so people say they've seen a lot of competition, right? Many people are doing it, so how are you guys different and how do you address the competition, right? So if somebody wants to sell something, why should they work with you?
Okay, so it's a great question. There is a lot of companies tokenizing real estate. There's a lot of companies that come also from the real estate sector and they are creating funds that are tokenized. What we enable is for a lot of those companies to be created quite easily without the hurdle of developing their own systems. It's in a way how, let's say, e-commerce got PayPal at a certain point to process credit card payments. It was a simple task that another company did for those e-commerce sites. They didn't sell the goods themselves. We don't sell real estate. We enable real estate companies to sell it more efficiently.
Can you tell us something about your sales strategy? Where do you find your customers and how do you convince them to buy your product?
A great question, and it's really hard to convince them. So we had a lot of inquiries, like I mentioned. We worked on 30 case studies with them, and we got 0 clients afterwards. So what happened is we analyzed that, and we wanted to understand what's going on. And we saw that some companies are just too big, and they are afraid of PR because what they want to do is actually not tokenize as a business model, but tokenize for PR. And the smaller companies are after immediate profits, which we cannot guarantee them with a new business model that's going to pop out with it. So we now see that our focus should be with companies that want to form new businesses that base their business model directly on real estate tokenization. And this first client is exactly such a case. A newly formed company that wants to iterate its earnings through tokenization and prosper through that.
what about timing? When do you think this is really going to take off? I mean, when do people really see the value and jump on the bandwagon and try it out or invest in it? So where do you see the cycle? Where's the tipping point? And when is it? Let us know.
Probably when the tipping point will happen, we will look back,
Okay.
like always, and say, hey, that was the tipping point. We should have started before. I hope it's not too long in the future,
Okay.
because we need to survive.
So no future prediction from Dennis here. Thank you very much, Dennis. Big round of applause. Thank you very much. You guys can visit all those startups. They all have booths out there, and there are many more startups. So you know, it's you know, you can have an in-depth discussion. Maybe you put your things there, your microphone and the clicker. Just put it there as well. And we're going to move right on, presenting you the second startup in the startup battlefield of the Real Estate Innovation Forum. So here's the next entrepreneur coming up from the United Kingdom, called British Pearl. So we know where you're from. Hi, what's your name?
Ali.
Ali, great. Pleasure to meet you. You have a microphone there on the left side.
This is working as well.
Would you prefer this one?
I would.
Okay,
And then
check if
when I
you
come
can
out
click.
for the Q&A, I'll bring my Tina Turner type microphone.
Yes,
Sing
yes.
along.
So do set up and let me know when you're ready. You'll have
Sure.
3 minutes. Actually, the clock is moving around a little bit here, so I'll just move it up like this, so now you can see it. And I will tell you when 1 minute is left.
Thank you
Crowd,
very
are you ready? Thumbs up. Okay, good. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Our property investment platform enables hassle-free international investment. You can become a shareholder or lender from £1,000 online in 4 minutes. We purchase properties and then list them on our platform for investors to buy into. Share investors receive monthly rental income and a share of any capital gains. Loan investors receive monthly fixed interest income and a legal charge. All investors start accumulating returns as soon as they invest and are guaranteed legal ownership. Investors can build a portfolio to suit their needs whilst relying on our expertise, removing the hurdles to traditional property investment and disrupting fund management services. We operate 2 revenue models, a fund management model and a service model. Fund management fees include an entry, annual management and performance fees equating to approximately 2% per annum of the investment amount. Our service model is bespoke to each joint venture and includes operator, annual management and license fees. Establishing our platform is complex, time-consuming and expensive. It took us 4 years and £5 million. Expertise in financial services, property and e-commerce are essential. Our team has it all. Investors desire property market exposure and better risk-adjusted returns. The UK property market is valued at around £7 trillion and the savings and investment markets around £9 trillion. The European market is even larger. With growing investor appetite for higher yields, we expect to build a £1 billion portfolio over the next 5 years with our scalable platform. The board and executive have strong track record and possess the skills necessary to make this business a success. All senior team members have invested a significant time and money in the business, the largest notable investor being Lord Stanley Fink, ex-MD of Man Group and ex-Conservative Party Treasurer. Our vision is to give individuals and institutions the ability to build a bespoke international portfolio by selecting the city, property and investment type they like, all online. We've had a great first year with 2,400 registered investors, of which 430 have invested £2.5 million across our 20 properties. We have distributed our forecasted investment returns every month as advertised and built market-leading software enabling securities origination, securities trading and portfolio management. We are also FCA authorised and have rigorously tested our operational infrastructure at scale. We will succeed based on trust, returns, usability and liquidity. DLT adoption may increase operational efficiency and customer liquidity in the future. However, given the issues surrounding STOs and the choice of technologies, our platform is currently more optimal for us and our customers. Currently, we're a finalist in the Hong Kong FinTech Week and Alibaba's Entrepreneur Fund. Thank you very much.
Woo! Ali, congratulations. Good. Great pitch. incredibly talking, it'll turn on automatically.
Okay,
once you
that's
start
great.
talking. Good.
I
Wow.
take song
So
requests.
Take a deep breath now.
Thank you.
Pitched in 3 minutes. Wow, what
Thank
a great story. Great
Thank you
pitch,
very much.
great presentation. Really appreciate it. I do have a question on the service model.
Yes.
I didn't quite understand it. You said it's a bespoke service model, and you talked about joint ventures. So what?
Yes.
What exactly is that
so,
service model?
So the approach that we've taken so far, I come from a banking background. Our team has very strong expertise in financial services and property. We're an investment manager and have built our technology to serve the market that we're in, which is fractionalizing property investment. We've succeeded in the UK and we want to take this business model abroad. So currently we're working on joint ventures in different locations. Hong Kong will be our first one. We're in the process of incorporating a company there. And we will serve that joint venture. So there'll be a joint equity ownership, but development will be out of the UK and out of Europe, and we will deal with the operational infrastructure.
So from a crowd like this, I mean, what would you like to see? Would you like to see joint venture partners taking it here, or are you looking for properties, or what's your?
There's lots of things that we need as a business. As a business that's growing, we're looking for institutional investors in Topco. So far, we've raised £9 million, 6 million for working capital, 3 million for property purchase. We bought £3 million worth of property and refinanced it with our customers. We're looking for partners in different countries so that we can bring the business model there. Ideally, we'd like individuals with financial services and property expertise, and we will bring the technology and operational know-how. And finally, yes, we're after good property investments and access to investors, both at the individual, so retail space, and the institutional space, which is where we eventually want to take this. That's the vision.
Good news, you come to the right place.
I think so.
First, there's some challenge. Let's ask the jury. So what do you think? What's your impression? Please challenge Ali.
Can you explain again what's the main difference to somebody investing in a globally diversified real estate fund, for instance? What's the key differences you offer?
If you manage to get onto our website, which is britishpearl.com, you essentially become your own fund manager. We pre-purchase properties currently, so we conduct the legal due diligence and financial due diligence, and you literally see the investment that your money's going into. And you have a choice of being a shareholder or a lender into that portfolio. We've developed our own trading exchange, so once an investment's been originated on our platform, you can start trading those shares and loans. REITs are often equity-based, and you're investing in ones and zeros, listed somewhere. Our service is much more personal and lends itself to the new smartphone. I want to control my money. I want to have access market. I'd say that's the main difference. But you are getting our fund management expertise in the same way you would with a fund. And often the funds do not provide debt facility. Most of them are equity focused. So with us, you can be a lender as well as a shareholder.
Great.
How do you get the properties on your platform? Just by bridging them yourself, or how do you do it?
So our business is built on a number of pillars. One of those pillars is access to real estate. So we have specialist real estate individuals in our company, both at board level and executive level. They've been in the market for years. Real estate, like many businesses, is a relationship-based business. We source lots of different investments. We'll review 1,000 and buy 10. Once we've accessed those investments and run the due diligence, we purchase with our own money, make it income producing before putting it on the platform for investors to invest in. That model will evolve. We won't buy everything because that would be extremely capital intensive. At the moment, we're working on partnering with big home builders in the UK. So on an option basis, we'll have access to their investments, collectively invest into those units, and then investment manage it for them as a fund manager would be once that investment is fully sold. I hope that answered your question.
Let's look a little bit at the... Oh, no, go ahead.
One question from my side.
One more question from...
What do you do in the case of a lease shortage? Do you give any guarantees for investors?
Sorry, I didn't quite... a shortage of what?
Of leases.
Of leases?
Of Mietausfall. What's that in English? Mietausfall?
Huh?
Loss of rent.
Loss of rent?
Yeah,
okay. Okay. I understand. Again, if you go onto our website, each SPV has full financials. In those financials, you will see that we have a SPV reserve. So each time we raise money, we assess the risk of that particular investment, the lettability. So there are a number of steps. First of all, we try and pick something that we know has good rental demand. If we fall short on rent, there is an internal insurance fund that should cover that shortage. It will at least cover the interest that we need to pay back to our lenders who are on the platform. Anything beyond that is the same risk as you'd have as an owner. We're replicating what it would be to be a landlord, we call it in the UK, a property owner.
Ali, there's many more questions. Look at all these questions here, but
okay.
we won't have the time to answer, but
Sure.
it doesn't matter because you can visit Ali on his booth later on as well. Thank you very much for answering the question. You can put your microphone
Sure,
there.
thank you very much.
A big round of applause to Ali from British Pearl. Don't forget to vote. If you haven't cast your vote, also please vote now because we're moving right along to the third startup. It's very intense, the startup battlefield. The next startup is from Germany called BUILTWORLD. So please, BUILTWORLD, come on stage. And BUILTWORLD has some fans. They have some fans with them. Good. Welcome. What's your name? Good to see you. Michael. Michael, okay. There's some microphone over here for you, so you can grab that, and everything should be set up for you. So please test if everything works for you.
Hello?
Yes, good.
Can you-
Good. Where are you from in Germany?
Berlin.
From Berlin.
Berlin.
Okay, lots of Berlin startups here, huh? So it's
Yeah.
still the capital
It's
for
a
even
place
for
to be.
real estate. It's a place to be. Okay.
Indeed.
Okay. Good. Good. So welcome. Is everything set up for you? Are you
That's
tested
the-
it? You'll have 3 minutes. There's a little clock up here. You
Yeah.
do that, and I'll tell you when there's 1 minute left.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Fantastic.
Are you nervous?
No.
No. Okay. Professional. Okay, guys. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael. I'm co-founder and managing director of BUILTWORLD. BUILTWORLD is an online platform for commercial real estate financing. Why do we need something like that? My co-founder Marcus and I, we both worked in the banking industry and in the real estate industry. And from our own experience, as well as from many discussions we had with developers and investors and banks, we know commercial real estate financing is today still a very fragmented local offline business. It's complicated and at times also very complex. You have many participants that are involved, the bank, the borrower, a surveyor, an architect, a lawyer, etc. They all have their tasks in the process. The process is not defined. Each bank handles the financing differently. There are new standards and documents are shared via email, USB sticks, or even in physical binders. And that was the reason why we founded BUILTWORLD as an online platform. We are live since 2018. We have onboarded some 75 lenders that are banks, insurance companies, or debt funds. And year to date, 2019, we have introduced our lenders to more than 1.2 billion of qualified project volume. Each project that is on our platform has been pre-qualified by us and is shared with a selected number of lenders. For us, it's important to increase the efficiency along the process, so we would like to have all documents, parties, and communications in one place, and that's how BUILTWORLD has been developed. It's a workflow tool, and it provides access to new lenders. Just launched is our task management, because we do not want to work only to provide access to lenders, but also help our borrowers during the process of fulfilling conditions precedent, collateral creation, and the ongoing reporting requirements. That is a lot for a borrower to do. That's why we created task management. We provide senior financing and mezzanine financing volumes typically from 5 million onwards. It's a structured process online. We share access to relevant context in our network, and we save time, cost, and equity for our borrowers. That's what we have right now. It's live and operational. There's much more to come. You will hear from us. You will hear from BUILTWORLD. One thing I can share already, we are going to make the use of the platform free of charge for our users, and there's much more to come. Thank you.
Woo. All right, thank you very much. So interesting to see what the jury has to say. Give us some challenge. What do you guys think?
Yeah, my question is, how do you attract people to use your platform?
Yeah. So we have several channels where we originate our leads. Obviously, that's PPC ads, Google, LinkedIn, Instagram, Xing.
Instagram?
Yeah. We have a sales force that calls potential clients and introduces them to our services. Obviously, we use events like that. We have an own network, we have a referral program, so there are many channels to originate business.
On the other side, I mean, the product, that's probably more difficult.
Actually not. If you have a new interesting project that works, it's very easy to get in touch with the sales forces of banks or work with alternative lenders and support actually their origination because we provide pre-selected and pre-qualified leads to them, so we make the origination much more efficient.
How do you think traditional banks are going to react? Don't you think they're going to build up a similar platform and then pass you by? Are you afraid of that?
Actually, we are not afraid of that. At the end, it's the client, the borrower, who decides. And if the borrower gets the service she or he would like to get from us and finds a very good support during the process through the life cycle of the financing, then they will come back to us. And as I said, for the lenders, we are a digital sales channel that gives them additional reach to projects and clients that they have not seen before.
What is your biggest challenge at the moment? What's the biggest hurdle that you have, that you face in growing and moving forward?
Well, we have many ideas and we got much more input even during this fair. So it's for us now really to stay focused and build that platform. Obviously, originating high quality projects is utmost important for us because that is something that we provide to our lenders. As you know, there are many people out there in the real estate world, and not all of them are professional. So we focus on those who really know what they do, and that's our core.
By the way, if you do want to see those presentations, you can just put your business cards in those boxes out there, and we will send you all the startup presentations after the show. If you wanted to take those presentations and share with your team to show how you can pitch a complete business in only 3 minutes, right? Or if you're interested, of course, to contact the startup, then we will share those presentations with you. Any more questions from the jury?
There's also an interesting question from the audience. How much traffic is on the platform? How many deals have you done so far?
Yeah, as I said,
see the question. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
So as I said,
Traffic
year to date, it's 1.2 billion of project volume, but that's already the qualified part of it. So the hundreds of millions of not realistic project and financing requests we have already sorted out. We focus on Germany and Austria.
You pick the next one. Yeah. What's your edge over upcoming client portal?
Yeah, so we are a borrower-centric platform, so we have all the workflow tools that are relevant for a borrower to move through the process, and it's bank agnostic, and it also provides access to alternative lenders such as debt funds or insurance companies.
How big is your team?
We are currently 9 and are still hiring. We are a broker at this stage, so we share the destiny of other brokers as well, of analog brokers. If we cannot convince our client by the service that we provide, then obviously they can turn and work directly with the banks. So it's on us to constantly improve the quality of the services that we have.
Okay, thank you very much. A big round of applause to BUILTWORLD. Thank you. Startup number 3. Thank you very much. See how your fans do in the voting part back there. I heard them clap and applaud. Everything is allowed here in the startup battlefield. We have the next startup coming up, which is called Locata, also from Germany. It's going to present to you, so may I please ask Locata to come up on stage. Hello, welcome. Hi. What's your name? Jan. Okay, very welcome. We have a stage up here for you, a setup with a clicker and a microphone. The microphone is actually laying there in the back, so please get ready. You'll have 3 minutes. We prepared a little clock here for you, and I'll remind you if there's 1 minute left.
Is it a hard 3 minutes?
It's a hard 3 minutes. It's going to be your hard stop. Yeah. So you also don't look very nervous. You're not nervous at all?
You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Yeah, I mean, this is part of what it means to start a startup. You have to tell people about it, and that's what we're here to do.
How many pitches have you done in the last 3 months?
0.
0. Okay, okay. So let's see how you fare. Are you ready? You ready to go?
Yeah. Let's go.
Are you ready? Thumbs up. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. My name is Jan. I'm the founder of Locarta. I apologize in advance for my voice. I blame it on the Oktoberfest, but I hope we make it through. So Locarta, let me tell you about it. We deal in location data, and we start. We start from the premise that physical retail is still here to stay. Yeah, a lot of people forget that 90% of revenues are still done in physical locations, but of course we understand that this is being challenged, that online competition is rising, and that physical retailers need to basically use every tool at their disposal to optimize their operations. And Locarta is providing an additional signal to do that, and that is location data. So we use the smartphone as a tracking device, and we have built a smartphone panel of users that send us location about their whereabouts throughout the day. This is all in accordance with data privacy laws because they give us their explicit permission to do so. I've brought you an example of what that looks like when we do that for users in Berlin. So you see it's pretty detailed. We get a lot of granularity about people and where they spend their time. As of today, we have 2 million panelists in our panel. It makes it the largest commercially available data source of this kind. But it's not just big, it's also detailed because we get data from all sorts of sensors from the smartphone, not just the GPS device. And then when we mix in a healthy chunk of machine learning, we're able to use that data to actually detect visits, not just where people pass by, but which stores they visited precisely. So what can this data do for you? I've brought you a case study. We've got the same problem here again. A case study that we did together with Aachener Grund. Maybe they're actually here in the audience. They're here at the show, I know that. And Aachener Grund owns a bunch of commercial real estate properties in Düsseldorf, for instance. And the question for us was, who visits them and how many? So I have to speed up a little bit. This is one of the analysis that we did for Düsseldorf. You see the Schadowstraße and the Kö and how the frequencies change throughout the day. But we don't just do frequencies. We also can split this by gender, by age, by home location, and even by target audience. We can give you segments and how many of them were there. So they're smart cookies. They compared this to laser counter data that they had, and we found a very high accuracy, a very good correlation. So they're happy with the results, and they use it today in their day-to-day operations to know how much rent they should charge, where they should buy the next property, etc. But that's not the only thing you do with location data. We can also analyze catchment areas. We help you understand retail customers, and there's a lot of big brands and retailers and commercial real estate players that already trust us today, and we hope one day some of you might do the same. Thank you.
All right, big round of applause. Locarta. Very good, very good. So did I understand right? You have 2 million people running around with their smartphones and giving you data? 2 million, is that correct?
Yeah, it's 2 million. So that makes it a large panel.
How did you get them to submit all the data to you? How did you win them?
It's basically a two-pronged strategy. We have some of our own apps that we incentivize people to download and share the data with us, but we also partner with third-party apps.
Give me one example, which I might use.
We can't talk about them, unfortunately, for competitive reasons. But it's anything that has location data as its main purpose. So, weather, navigation, mapping, things like that.
So I always wonder who gets all my data. Now I know.
Well, Google does, Apple does, and then some of it.
Impressive to have access to that data. That's quite powerful, no?
Yeah, that's what we think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think? 2 million?
Yeah, I actually have two questions. One, first is, does it work indoors as well, and how accurate or precise is it? And the other question is, it's probably costs a lot of money to partner with the apps and so on. So how do you earn money?
The first question about in-store or indoor analytics. So we use not just GPS but also Wi-Fi sensors. And if there's if there's lots of Wi-Fi networks indoors, we can use them to understand generally where you spend time indoors. But what we can't do is tell you exactly, like, you know, this customer spent 3 seconds in this aisle and then 10 seconds in the next. That's not what we're built to do. We're basically helping you understand who's in your store, and in the center we can tell you generally which area is more populated than others, but we're not doing like meter by meter accuracy. And in terms of the business model, so yes, we have somewhat fixed costs to acquire data and analyze it, and infrastructure and things like that. But the good news is that the data business is quite scalable. If you can sell the same bits and bytes 2 times, 10 times, 100 times. So we basically, we have fixed costs to generate this data, but then anytime we generate a report for people, we have very small incremental costs, and that's how the business becomes attractive.
How do you figure it out if someone has more than one mobile device?
I have a lot.
If you happen to be in our panel twice, then we see very similar location footprints because the two devices tend to be in the same location for a large part of the day. Not always, but for a decent amount. And they sleep at home, at night in the same place. So that helps us filter them out.
So the audience is quite impressed by all the data, right? So there's 2 questions here at the top, right? How do you get the legally safe permission from the panelists?
Yeah.
Do they get a benefit in that? And people are still wondering, 2 million people, how do you get them and what do they get in exchange? And I think that's an impressive number.
Yeah. So basically the first question, how do we do it legally? You have to ask them for explicit consent for this. So we do this through a pop-up. In our app or in our partner apps, if you install that app, you get asked whether you want to share that data with us and for what purpose, and you have to say yes. Otherwise, we don't get the data. If you change your mind, you can stop it. So that's the legal part. And in terms of how do we get people to do it? So in our own apps, we just give you plain money for your data. When it's third-party apps, we incentivize the owner of the app. For every user that we get data from, he gets paid by us, and then it's his job to find a way, or the best way to incentivize the user. That's on him then.
Yeah. By the way, you have a bigger audience, right? There's a live streaming here on LinkedIn happening, right, through Jens-Peter Schulz. So lots more people on the web.
Very nice.
Okay, more questions from you guys.
Are you only active in Germany or also in European countries?
Yeah, as of now, our user base is like 95% in Germany, then 5% in other German-speaking countries, so Austria and Switzerland. We have plans to basically acquire data for the other European countries, and then we can offer the same services there.
I mean, if you manage 2 million data points or panelists in Germany, you should work well in other countries as well. I mean, think about China. It should be much easier to get a lot, right?
Yeah, I think they also have a different attitude towards sharing data, so it could be even easier.
You can get the data from the government if you have good connections. So.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to get involved in that, but
Okay, more questions here from the crowd. So maybe pick the top one. Maybe more details on the pricing model. People are interested in that. And maybe the scandal, Cambridge Analytica situation, right?
Yeah.
So is it really, is there a danger that this will fall apart, or people will feel like using the data for something which wasn't intended for them?
Yeah, I'll take both questions actually. So on the pricing model, the answer is it depends. It depends on how much data you want from us, how granular the data should be, how many features you want analyzed. So it's kind of on a case-by-case basis, but those are the general parameters. And how do you stop a Cambridge Analytica situation? Yeah, that's something we think about quite a lot. It starts with just having security around your technology and encrypting everything and making sure only the right people have access to it. But then when you think about Cambridge Analytica, it's not like somebody hacked into it. It's Facebook gave this data away to research parties, and then those research parties shared it with people that use it for a different purpose, and that was the real problem. So in our case, we just don't give personal data away. We always aggregate data, and we give out analysis in aggregate, but we never sell like an individual user's profile, and that really solves that problem for us.
We'll be watching it, but I think it's a great idea. Thank you very much. Big round of applause.
Thank you.
To Lokata. Thank you very much. We have one more presentation for you, and then we will have the winner, right? So one more presentation, one more exciting 3 more minute pitch of the last startup, which is called Real X Data, so another data play. May I ask Real X Data here on stage? One more presentation. Hello, what's your name? Yes, hello, welcome. Yeah, so we have a little setup here for you. The microphone should be over here. It's actually in the back, and there you have a clicker as well.
Thank you.
Titus, how many presentations and pitches have you done in the last 3 months? So
Quite some.
quite some.
Yes.
You're looking for money, or why have you pitched so much?
I look for friendship.
Friendship. Okay, let's see. Maybe find some friends out here, I hope, so good. So you're the last person. You have a chance to rock the ship now. If you're really doing the best job now, then you can win. So good luck. Are you ready?
I'm ready, thank you.
Audience, are you ready? Thumbs up. Are you ready for the last one? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you. So I'm Titus, co-founder of Real X Data. Why am I showing you a picture from myself about 10 years ago? It was actually when I started in the real estate industry. It was actually close before Expo Real, and I talked to my former boss, and I said, now I start with real estate. And he said, Titus, you don't go to Expo Real. You're staying in the office, and you do real estate. That means you crunch Excel, and when you're done with crunching Excel, you're able to do research, and research. And on that day, he said it's not going to be for 2 or 3 weeks. He said it's going to be for 3 years. And that was the point when I thought we have to change something in that industry. Before changing something, you actually need a great team. A team which combines from property knowledge and from technology knowledge. So combine really prop tech in our company. So imagine if you're in a transaction or asset management department and you're receiving a lot of unstructured, valuable market data. And I ask you now to remember 3 things. We have seen great pictures so far, just 3 things. First thing, you can connect any kind of rent roll with our platform. It doesn't have to be in any format. Second, you can do all the analysis on our platform. Our dashboard actually combines 30 to 40 Excel sheets in one. And third, you have all that market data you're actually looking on your fingertip. So you have asking rents, you have deal news, you have socioeconomic data, and you have legal stuff. So this is our platform right now, and by now you probably ask yourself, but what's the real vision? What's Real X Data vision? It's actually predictive analytics. And from December on, we will be able, through our user data, which combines so far over 20,000 assets, with multiply information we are gathering from TripAdvisor, Point of Interest, or Lieferando. This is information we are looking in, for example, TripAdvisor. It's a new restaurant opening up in a new place, and what profile is actually rating that restaurant? Is it maybe a hipster profile, and do we see gentrification in that area? So this is actually what we're giving in future to our customer. Talking about our customers so far, and this is not vision, who are our customers at the moment? To name some, it's TAG, Brookfield, Kintyre, Mundo, with BNP, Colliers, Engel & Völkers, and Ariel Bank on our platform. Thank you very much for your audience.
Woo. Welcome. All right. Big round of applause. Last startup, Real X Data. Quite impressive, good presentation, very articulate. Looks very easygoing.
You said it to all of these guys.
No, yeah, I know, but the
And it's true.
presentations were very good. No?
Yeah.
So I think it's actually the presentations have improved quite a bit over the last 3 years. If we look back in the first year, it was still difficult to meet the timing, but now everybody's on time, everybody's very articulate. So pitching is becoming very very good and very common for the startup. So I have a quick question.
Yep.
So all the data, so you said, so where does all the data come? I didn't quite understand. You said Lieferando, TripAdvisor, but usually you would have much more data, right? Much more professional data and from other places. So what sources of data do you have, and how do you actually ensure that these are really all the data that people need and they're top qualified, etc.?
Exactly. So this is more the vision we had at the beginning, to look in sources you would actually not really think about, which are relevant to real estate, which are maybe relevant. Maybe some are not, but maybe some are. So what is very important is, on the other hand, what our customers use at the moment, it's the typical research everybody here is doing. It's the marketplaces, the listing portals. We have brokers which are delivering digital market reports. We have socioeconomic data. We're having a partnership with Immobilien Manager to get deal news. So it's somehow partnerships, and then of course the most important, the customer data.
Okay, because it's a matter of trust, right? Because having lots of data is one thing, but trusting the data and having the right data. So how do you ensure that? How do you? Do you consult people, or it's just everything happens automatically and you just go in there and all the data sources are there?
No, first of all, you need a lot of friends, right? That's why I'm looking for friendship. No, actually, that's the most important question, and that's if we will make it, or if any company will make it or not. All the real estate companies will not be able to do this on their own, because there are no data companies. So they need partnerships, and they need to trust. If they do not trust, nothing will change when it comes to data. If they trust, maybe we will have a change, and that's of course what we are going for.
Are your friends giving you the data for free, and do you think they will charge you in the future when they realize it's a value to the data?
No, actually our customers are paying right now, otherwise we couldn't pay any salaries, because the struggle really from the unstructured data they are receiving from all over the market, it's very hard to get this in one format. And this is, at the moment, the key or the heart of Relix data.
But not all of the market analytics comes from your customers, I understood. There's also other data, like TripAdvisor you mentioned, others asking rents and stuff like that. So you get those numbers for free?
Most of them we get for free. We have one, Nexiga, for example, they have socioeconomic data from the local authorities, what we are paying for. We have deal news we are paying for. So of course, it's not everything is for free. As we are charging our customers as well, we have to pay other people as well.
Please do vote now. Take the opportunity to vote now, right? For the last startup, and jury also please vote now, because we'll have to do some magic calculations back there in our AI room. You called it predictive analytics, some people call it AI. More questions.
What is the main difference between you, Relix Data, and the famous and often mentioned 21st Real Estate?
The main difference is that we do not want to do actually a digital transaction. And this is, we really see ourselves as market data provider and analytic platform, and we do not do anything with transaction. You can use our platform to analyze real estate and even to offer something, but we're not a middleman, or we are really just a data company and an analytic platform.
Some more questions here from the audience. Maybe you want to pick.
Sure. Yeah.
Or do you guys have more at the moment? Do pick one from your. Pick the top one.
All right. Top one is at the moment we're a good question only in Germany. The analytics is working worldwide, but the market data is just coming from Germany. And Germany, it's very nice. We have 60 different states, so actually we always say with Germany we're gathering 16 different countries.
Yeah, and people want to know here because obviously everyone's interested in the data, right? The commercial property data in mass, So how do you do it? Give some tips. Where do you get the data from? How does that work?
Okay, to that question maybe afterwards you're coming to me. No, first it's something called like trust, and what for us startups it's very important, of course, to have customers. And without customers we do not get any data. And this is, of course, we are getting the mass of data from our customers we are working with. And this is for us most important, really, having relationships, customer relationships. Yeah.
Okay. Jury looks happy. We'll have one last question. TripAdvisor users are more likely to give you negative than positive data. How do you deal with that? Skew or bias in the data? How do you?
Sure. This is. We're checking into data, right? So you never know exactly, this is also quality of data you're facing, and this is we're actually even more interested in the profiles. It doesn't matter if they give a positive or a negative feedback. It's more the profile we're interested in. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. A big round of applause for RealX Data. Lots of interesting data plays here today in this last session, and now we come to the finale. You don't have to go very far, because now we're going to do the ceremony and see which one of those 5 startups convinced you and convinced the jury. Right, so the jury has 4 votes, there's 1 public vote, and we have the results here coming up for our 5 startups. So may I ask the entrepreneurs to come back on stage, please? And also the jury, if you would stand up, because we'll have a celebration picture. Ali, join us. So what do you guys think? Who won? So what do you guys think? Who won? Oh, lots of... Everyone is a winner. Everyone is a winner. But we only have 1 award for you, right? So only 1 gets the fame and fortune. So let's see if we can get the award on stage. Somebody bring up the award, please. And then we can shortly see the results. So who has the award? Jonas usually comes up on stage magically from behind, bringing some nice little awards. Here he comes. He brings 2 awards, right? So interesting, interesting. We have 2. It's very close. It's very close. So, okay, are we ready in the technology? Can we please see who won? It's going to take 5 more seconds, or that could be 5 more minutes, but I hope it's 5 more seconds. So you will see that on the screen in a minute. You will see the exact points, and let's see who won. Gets the fame and fortune. Like I said, if you want those presentations, please put in your business cards. We will send them to you. I thought you're going to bring 3 more out. No? Okay, so we do have winners. Okay, now we get ready. Shortly you will see the results. A big calculation here is going. Thumbs up. So here we go. Who won? Go ahead. All right. Oh my God, it's close. So let's get the numbers in. 75 and 73. So RealX Data. Woo! What a close call. Amazing. What a close call. Awesome. Very good. So all the fame goes to you, and I'm sure all the fortune goes to all these 5 startups. Thanks for coming here, taking your time. We'll have another session, 5 more startups tomorrow at noon. Right? Thank you very much. Have a great day, rest of the day, some good parties or evening dinners, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow again at the Real Estate Innovation Forum. Thank you very much.